Hello, people of the internet. My name's Isaiah.
And my name's Matt.
And welcome to episode 32 of the Mildly Ignorant Podcast.
Welcome back, Isaiah.
Yeah, 30 episodes in, and unfortunately one of us had to drop for the first time ever.
If we were more responsible in planning, we could
absolutely
probably...
not. No, absolutely no. There's no way in hell. I'm telling you right away. Our schedules were not compatible last week at all.
Yeah.
Down to the actual minute. The very minute I became available, you were no longer available, and the very minute you were available, I wasn't available.
Okay, well, I didn't just become unavailable. I had these plans for a year and a half.
Well, I know. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it's incompatible. But yeah, for those who don't know, if you're an avid listener of the pod, you should know, but I'm a little university boy still, and I was busy with my thesis, and now we're back. I can actually have time in my day to record this, so we're back here today. Right in time, Matt, because the sky is falling.
We're back focusing on what's really important, making a podcast.
The sky's falling right now, Matt. The world is in pure pandemonium.
What else is new?
Elon Musk bought 9% of Twitter, and now he wants to buy the whole thing. Everyone's panicking. The sky's falling. Free speech. The world's over. Misinformation.
He says he wants. Rampant. Okay. He says he wants to unlock the true potential of Twitter, which is just the funniest thing I've ever heard.
You just bring it back to 2012 years.
Yeah, I mean, do people like Twitter? Do people actually like Twitter? I don't think I've met an actual person who's oh, I'm so excited to go on Twitter.
No one likes Twitter anymore because the way because of what it's become. He wants to bring it back to what it was before. Everyone liked Twitter before.
Which was what? What was it before that it's not now?
Not full of dumbasses.
I mean, that's literally everywhere you go.
Exactly. That's what he wants, though. I'm not saying it's plausible. I'm just saying he wants the internet to go back to 2012 peak era where it wasn't full of dum-dums yet. And not everything was so polarized.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was getting. I was I'm so tired of how polarizing everything is or has to be. It's it's ruining. It's it's ruining so many people's experiences, and I don't think they realize it because they're just too caught up in extremes. It's actually wild. You can't just have a normal opinion about something.
Hell yeah, brother.
You're getting death threats and you're getting doxxed and someone's showing up at your house.
You either gotta hate Elon Musk or you gotta love him, and if you love him, you're on the wrong side of things.
Yeah, I just think if you're supporting any billionaire, you're probably on the wrong side of things.
Hey, Elon Musk said he would solve world hunger if they gave him a bill. Where his money would go. Yeah, I remember we talked about it on the pod, dude.
No, I mean, did he solve world hunger, though?
He donated, a huge amount of money, but not enough to end world hunger. Because he said they didn't give the bill in time. Or they didn't give him the bill at all, so he's I'll just give a little bit of my money, so...
Why doesn't he just, do it out of the goodness of his heart?
Because he knows he's not dumb. He scammed his way to the top. He knows everyone else that's at the top scammed their way to the top, so
exactly.
He doesn't want to get scammed himself. He's just the first businessman to be honest about it. Which I appreciate. He knows these non-profit organizations are fucking screwy for the most part, so he wants to make sure it actually goes to where it's intended to go.
I mean, he has the money to establish that. If he doesn't, I don't know, he's the richest man in the world.
Oh yeah, he's still being stingy. Yeah. I mean, even if he donated $10 billion and it all went to some hedge fund billionaire, it's not it's the end of the world for him. But I guess he still wants it to go to the right people. It's more out of...
But, he has the money. He can find the right people. Why is he giving the work to other people? Why is he saying, give me a bill. You do all the work, and I'll just throw money at you. And it's you...
Yeah, I guess he can start, his own philanthropist thing if you wanted to. But then people would get mad because it's Elon Musk's thing.
I mean,
people are just gonna get mad.
If he puts his money where his mouth is, I'm willing to eat my words and say that he's not an asshole. If he turns
but Matt, you're normal.
Fair.
You're not Twitter.
I mean, if he turned around and donated literally large portions of his wealth, and I'm talking in relation to everything he has and not in relation to like what normal people see, you know? Because like if he donated like 1% of his wealth, it's like probably still a couple $1 billion. But like to the average person, would set them up for life.
I find that's such a stupid argument. If I'm getting your argument right, I hate people that say like, "Oh, he still has $40 billion left in his bank account. That's not enough money. He has to donate it all." I hate that kind of argument. It's like, dude, it's his own money. Let him donate what he wants. If it only takes $5 billion to end world hunger, I'm just throwing a number out there. Then why would he donate 10? You know, it just there's no reason.
There's no reason to have $1 billion in the first place.
Well, no. Well, what is he gonna do with it now?
Solve world hunger?
Well, yeah, exactly. But like, he doesn't need to use all his money for that. I hate people who use that argument where
put it to other good uses. Like
I hate people who use that argument. It's like, oh, they only donated $1 billion instead of his whole net worth. Why didn't they do that? I'm like, did you donate your whole fucking bank account to a cause? No, it's the same thing.
A lot of those people are borderline like poverty or like fucking like lower middle class, where like if they miss a day of work, they could be fucked over, right? Like they're living paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, fucking Elon Musk can decide to just fuck off for the rest of forever and still like never have to worry about anything ever for the rest of his life if he wanted to. He could just be like, peace out, I'm done. See you never. Cut off from all social media, whatever. And like he will never experience a problem for the rest of his life.
I mean, so, like 99.
That's where the difference comes in. Whereas the fact that like, if I wanted to donate like 90% of my wealth, I would. I don't know.
He would have
like 3 cents left.
He would have to cash out though, because.
True.
Yeah, like 99% of his wealth is stocks. It's not actual physical money.
Yeah.
So that's what happens with most of these billionaires, is that they can't just fuck off because they're tied in to their stocks. They'd have to sell.
It's almost like they don't actually have that money.
They don't. And that's what people don't understand. Net worth does not equal your bank account number. Never does. It's called assets.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another thing I gotta find kind of fucking stupid, is that like, and I mean, I'm sure you know, like I'm all against like censoring things. There's no reason to censor things, and like obviously Elon Musk, like the big worry that Elon Musk is gonna make it like a willy-nilly free-for-all, and that misinformation is gonna run rampant and stuff like that. And it's like, who cares if you're going to Twitter for factual information? That's on you, and just let election take effect at that point, you know? Like
yes and no. Like I agree with you where like we shouldn't be so strict on censorship, but at the same time, there's got to be things like put in place. Like I do think that like social media platforms should be super strict when it comes to like, I don't know, sexual content or like stuff like that. Like I fully believe if you want to show your nudie bits on the internet that you're allowed, but I also fully believe that like there should be a way to, I don't want to say restrict that, but there should be a way to like
keep it isolated. And I think some platforms do that well. Like Reddit does that well, where Reddit, anything with an SFW is either hidden, or you can literally by default your profile starts up with no NSFW stuff showed to you at all.
Yeah,
you have to turn that on.
But then the problem comes in as to like, who do you give, like who decides gets access to it, and that's where things get messy and gray, right?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, think of like when you're 13 on the internet stumbling around shit. Like if you were,
hey, it's not the company's fault to raise you. It's the parents' job.
No, exactly.
I absolutely hate that argument.
No.
People saying, "Oh, the internet needs to censor for the kids." That's on the parents.
I fully agree, but also like kids
will find that shit anyways. Yeah, exactly.
No, well, exactly, but also like it's also very easy to like coerce children into saying and doing shit and showing them shit that like they shouldn't see. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to be responsible for the children at some level. I do believe that, because like the kids don't know better, right? They can't, like, yeah, sure, there's restrictions and stuff like that, but like they're curious and they're gonna put themselves in danger because that's what fucking kids do, because they don't know better. Like you can't just say like,
yeah, but see that's the issue though, is that like that's another, like when it comes to like adult content like that, like no matter how many restrictions you put on it, there's always gonna be like the curiosity is gonna get the better of these kids, and they're always gonna find a way around it. It's the same thing with alcohol. Alcohol is an age limit. Kids are still gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
go back to the prohibition era. You think fucking people stop drinking alcohol? Hell fucking no. Like, the more restrictions you put on it, it's gonna get more people to want to go to it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, and that's why I just think it's just better to like leave it as is and make external factors deal with it, you know, like let your parents fucking raise you properly.
Well, I know that like a big part of, I mean, let's look at Tumblr, for example, in 2018 when they like did away with
died?
porn. Or 2017. Well, when they did away with porn and stuff, because like they fucked over a lot of sex workers, but also like, I don't want to say like child porn was rampant on Tumblr, but like it was easy to see that kind of content, like, and that's really fucked up. And the fact that it was so easily accessible, and like that's where I think, like, I don't want to say censorship, but like it kind of is. I don't know. So
that's the issue. There's no good way to solve this issue.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I think don't do anything.
Now, like, remember when we talked about I always forget the name of it, but that bill that wants to like super crack down on censorship and make it like
net neutrality, is that it? Or is that the internet being commercial?
That was it was like something out bill.
Oh yeah, that new bill that came out a few months ago. Well, that you mentioned a few months ago. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas they're just using censorship as a form to like control, which is fucked up.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. At the end of the day, these companies are publicly owned, so they have to like make sure that shit doesn't end up like going crazy on their own platform. I get that from a business standpoint, but it's just like it's like who like it's very selective in like what they choose to show and what they don't choose to show, and it's like who gets to decide that, you know?
Exactly. Like Tumblr,
like obviously like using a very hyperbolic take here. Like if someone wants to go on the internet and like hate on like LGBT or like people of color or whatever, then like obviously it's a very shit take to have, and it's a very terrible take, and like censoring it is probably the best thing business wise, but at the same time it's drowned out in the internet too, which is
yes and no.
Not condoning it, but like,
I mean, let them
get bullied off the internet.
Saw it with the fucking Freedom Convoy a couple months ago, and the fact that like it didn't become an alt-right movement, but it let alt-right people in, and that just kind of ruined the whole, I don't want to say experience for everyone, but like it totally tanked the reputation of this Freedom Convoy, but it also like it gave them a platform, which
well, that's any major trend. Any major trend, you're going to have the minority is always the loudest in any major trend, I find.
I mean, well, they were a minority in the first place, but like Nazis are a minority.
Well, the minority of the minority, I'm saying. I'm like the minority of the freedom fighters, the very alt-right crazy people.
Your fringe.
The fringe minority became the face of it because they were the loudest minority.
Yeah. But like
any big social movement is like that, unfortunately.
I don't think anybody who's a neo-Nazi deserves a platform. And but that's censorship, right? So like, where do we draw the line of what is and what isn't accepted?
See, like obviously, like on a platform, like I said, on Twitter and Facebook, where it's the company that decides because they're publicly traded and blah blah blah. That's fine. I understand getting rid of that stuff, but like, it's when like, and I don't think it's happened yet, but I'm sure like these neo-Nazis have like their own forums and websites that they go on to talk shit, and it's like, you know, the day that the internet goes to that point, that's when it's like, okay, you need to relax. Censorship has gone too far. Not that I condone, I'm talking about like Nazi shit, but it's still like a matter of like principle, I guess. Yeah. Like if they can go that far, what's stopping them from going like in the other direction on the spectrum, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know, it's a touchy subject, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it also turns into a conversation about money, right? Because like whoever has the most money has the most power, and they get to dictate what gets said or what doesn't get said. Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Hell yeah, brother.
Circling back.
Elon Musk is the hero we need. Because he's going to buy Twitter and he's going to make it great again.
Imagine
Make
if
Twitter
that was his
great
like
again.
little slogan.
Make Twitter great again. So you can post memes without getting banned. And call out Putin to fight in a sword fight or whatever he did.
1v1 Putin. Final destination. No items. Fox only. That's how we should solve war. Through Smash Bros.
Ooh, hold on. I'm reading into the article a little bit about Elon Musk, and he said that Musk told a conference in Canada that he was not sure he would succeed in getting full control of Twitter, but he acknowledged a plan B, but refused to elaborate. Though in the filing, he noted a rejection would make him consider selling his shares and restarting from scratch.
What does that mean? He's going to throw a hissy fit?
No, it means
His own social media platform?
It means he'll just back out of Twitter and buy something else then. I don't know what he would buy though, to be honest. Twitter was like the prime like platform to buy, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't go against Zuckerberg. Twitter was owned by nobody.
True. Because like,
And
yeah,
Instagram is Facebook.
Yeah, Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
I guess you could do. I guess you could do like Reddit. I guess if you really wanted to, because Reddit is very like, it's weird, dude. I mean, the amount of people that own like random ass stakes in Reddit is whack. Apparently, like Snoop Dogg owns a little part of it. Reddit, apparently.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like it's weird. I guess, and it's weird because Reddit's not even a publicly traded company yet. I think they are going to go down that route, and that's why people are scared that all adult content's gonna get wiped off there, like Tumblr in 2018.
I mean,
they're not. They're still privatized, and like everyone owns like these weird like 1-2% in the company. It's like split among like 60 investors and owners for some reason. But yeah, you could buy Reddit if you wanted to. Although Reddit is a weird site to like fight for like freedom of speech, because it's like every subreddit is just ran by like a bunch of dummies in their basements, right? That selectively decide what they want to keep on their subreddit or not, you know?
Yeah.
It's like there's no moderation from Reddit itself.
I feel like Reddit was just like the next step to what like 4chan and like these boards were. It's basically the same thing.
I mean, did it originate from there?
Did it?
Like,
Did Reddit come from 4chan?
Or like one came from the other. I think 4chan came from...
No, 4chan's older. 4chan existed in the early internet.
Okay, I think what happened was that like everyone went to Reddit because 4chan was getting a bit too spicy, if you know what I mean.
4chan was always spicy.
Yeah, but it was getting a little bit too crazy.
It was dubbed the asshole of the internet.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what happened, to be honest. I'm on the Reddit Wikipedia page, and like the first thing that pops up is about the stupid like r/anti-work interview that the guy did on Fox. Reddit and science. Aggregate Reddit user data has been used for scientific research. For example, a 2014 study showed how subreddits can support role-based group recommendations or provide evaluation towards group stability and growth. Another study evoked a connection between cognitive and attention dynamics and the usage of online social peer production platforms, including the effects of deterioration of user performance.
Okay, this is what I thought. So, Reddit became popular in like 2010, and I just feel like it was the same demographic of like hipsters, like because I explicitly remember like a lot of hipsters being into Reddit. This is where like young tech guys would go.
Yeah, I remember Reddit having like the same kind of like being in the same like kind of hierarchy as like Tumblr when it came to social media, where it's like it used to be like targeted towards like a niche group, or like you said, the hipsters, and Tumblr was like for the, you know, LGBT
emos.
And the emos. Like it
Tumblr was like, it was a lot of sexual content, a lot of sex workers, because it was easy to like get their content out and like
and now we got OnlyFans, baby.
Which is so weird. What is OnlyFans? Is it like a subsidy of Twitter? Like,
no, what? No one, what? OnlyFans. I don't want to look that up on my. Actually, whatever. Fuck it. I'll look up OnlyFans on my computer. I don't give a fuck. It's not owned by anyone, dude. It's owned by a dude, but like it's not owned by like any thing. It's on its own. It's on its own thing.
It's like the Etsy of sex content.
Basically, yeah. Remember when they tried to get rid of it last year? All the sex content on there.
Yeah.
Fucking dummies.
Like
backed out literally a week later because they realized that their whole platform would come crashing down.
See, I don't even understand why there's such this stigma towards like sex and sexual content. Like, let people have at least one giant place to go for sex and sex work. Like, I don't understand. If we're gonna like censor everything on the internet, put it all in one place. Stop trying to get rid of it. Reminds me of that episode.
And it's funny too because this is like
Bikini Bottom.
This is funny too because like this is like the only place where it would be 99.9% safe to do sex work, you know?
Exactly.
Compared to the porn industry.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Like that's why I was a huge fan of OnlyFans because
you
like,
film it on your own. You're not forced into this industry that probably fucks with people a lot worse.
I mean, like.
I'm sure there's some good companies out there, but
yeah,
there's some really bad ones too.
Exactly, and it's like I said, it's the Etsy of sex work. So like, if you want to create a product or whatever, it's all in your control from start to finish.
I wouldn't know anything about that though, because I don't watch that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Matt, stop accusing me.
I mean, your name is literally Isaiah. You're Puritan. You're an Amish. Like,
by accident, I googled boobies instead of bobbies once on Google, and I panicked.
I had to throw my computer out.
Yeah, I was scared my internet service provider would come chasing after me, so I had to destroy the router too. Enter their servers, wipe the whole server.
I had to wash my computer in the bathtub.
No, I've unfortunately ventured in that part of the internet way too young. I think my first foray was actually when I was like 8, I think. And some guy told me to go on lemonparty.com to get cheats for this video game.
Rip.
So my the worst experience to start off with,
Yeah.
And I was a bit too young to go through like the 2 girls 1 cup phase that like got passed around recess in public school.
That was just like trashy.
I know, but like that was like the one video that kids would show each other at recess, But I was a bit too young for that. I think that was your generation, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Waffle.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. I was a bit too young for that trend. Those
Meat
trends.
Spin.
I remember that actually.
Yeah. I remember actually like
maybe
he used to be a really close friend of mine. He like there was a site like completely dedicated to like fucked up sex acts and stuff.
Well, there still is, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm sure there's a category for that.
But like you could tell, like I don't know, porn rots your brain. I definitely think that like.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I mean, the internet in general, I think, is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to humanity.
Oh, because, definitely. Like, and it's crazy. It's crazy too. I don't know if you've seen that interview. Oh shit, I don't know. I remember it was like a singer. Remember he did an interview like right when the internet started, like not when the internet started, like a few years in. It was like a rock singer. He made an interview saying that like the internet would be like the greatest invention of mankind, but also the worst thing ever. Yeah. And like it was some like obviously it sounded conspiracy theory at the time because like it was new, right? Everyone thought it was crazy cool and all that stuff. But like it was just cool hearing that from like someone that has no experience, like being able to foreshadow that famous interview about internet from singer. I don't know. Oh, David Bowie. Yeah, in 1999 he did an interview and he was saying like he said, yeah, the potential of what the internet is going to do to society, both good and bad, in the next 20 years is going to be unimaginable.
And it has been.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And the fact that he called it out that early on, like Obviously, lots of it could just be like, oh, he was just skeptical or like paranoid or whatever. But like, makes him look smart now, huh?
I don't know. I feel like if there's one thing David Bowie was, it was smart.
Well, he called it, so I would rather call him smart than dumb. But yeah, the internet is terrible. For your brain, it rots your brain.
I just like having unbridled access to literally anything all the time, like the human stream of consciousness, or just like endless hours of content regarding anything. It's overwhelming. It's gonna like, I mean, it's already fucked with so many people's like development into like mature adults, and it's only gonna get worse.
Definitely. It's like, it's weird. It's like it comes back to that scenario where I always point out like how humanity's, when they want to fix a scenario, they always tend to swing the pendulum too far in the other direction.
Yeah.
And it's what happens every single time with the internet. It's like, internet's good to a certain extent, but once you get past that threshold, it becomes bad.
I also just think that like humans are kind of, we underestimate how evil humans can be.
Yeah. Well, humans are naturally selfish. It's a natural human trait.
Like humans are also altruistic, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can be altruistic like personality wise, but biologically humans are selfish.
Yeah. Like
just biologically at like the genetic level, we are selfish individuals. That's all animals. I mean, you just. But anyways,
think, you know what humanity deserves? An extinction level event.
Hey, we're going through one right now, buddy. Let's go. Hop on. And then once everyone's dead, we'll have the internet still, baby. The internet's gonna outlive us all.
That I have genuinely never thought of it like that. Like everything, like this podcast, everything we say and do being stored on the cloud somewhere. Like for the most part, yeah. Like unless I don't know, the world is like actually destroyed, chances are for hundreds of years after we die, this content is going to be maybe not available, but it's going to be stored somewhere. Can you believe that?
I'm going to delete everything right now, man.
It's well, like when you delete something from the internet, it's never really gone.
True.
I just like I'm kind of just now comprehending the fact that like I'm going to be 70 and I can like listen
to the Mildly Ignorant podcast.
We're still going to be recording.
Well, of course,
too.
Matt. Of course. We're going to be the next big thing in 70 years from now.
If you think about it, like, I don't know, probably 500 years from now, if humanity doesn't perish, like, this content is, like, the internet, it's weird to think that, like, we're just getting into the internet as it's hitting its, like, prime, right? But, like, there's still so much to come.
There's no way we're in the prime. We're going downhill. The prime was like, 2010s.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, this is just such a short amount of time considering, like, if we don't just die, like, that this information is going to be available. Like, I really don't see anything happening where, like, the entire internet's getting shut down and wiped. So it's like we still have content from the 80s, like, when the internet was first established. Like, we still have all the information that was ever uploaded. Like, I mean, you and I don't have access to it, but, like, it's still stored somewhere. And, like, people who are long dead now, like, their information was stored on the internet. No, it's just weird. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Matt coming to terms with his mortality on the podcast. It's terrifying. It's like we always talk about, like, well, like, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind when you die? And it's like you don't realize you're always doing that, like, on the internet more than ever. Yeah. Because you think, like, in your life, you know, like, you meet friends, family, you have children, and, like, your legacy lives on. Eventually you become a name in a family tree, right? But, like, I don't know, 60 years from now, your, like, great grandkids are going to be able to look you up on Facebook and, like, or find the Mildly Ignorant podcast. Like, that's so wild to think that, like, it's like the Library of Alexandria, but, like, for everyone all the time.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, I got sidetracked because I just realized that Elon Musk made a second tweet about fighting Putin. I don't know if you saw that one.
No.
Because he did this. He did a thing, like the original post was like, you want to do the sword fight, right? And then he posted screenshots saying that he got a telegram by the head of the Chechen Republic saying something about like a word of advice: don't measure your strength against that of Putin's. You're in two completely different leagues.
Oh.
And it's totally fake. Like, there's no way this is a real fucking thing. And anyway, he answers back and he's like, if he is still afraid to fight me, I will agree to use only my left hand, and I'm not even left-handed.
What the fuck?
So Elon Musk wants to fight Putin one-handed now.
Imagine watching that fight. Like, Putin would wreck him.
It would be like, it'd be like David versus Goliath, like a really nerdy guy versus the school bully, except the nerd has like tech on his side. He's gonna come in his Iron Man suit.
He doesn't have a fucking Iron Man suit.
He's gonna make one, Matt.
God.
I'm looking up oldest websites in the world right now. Symbolics.com apparently is the oldest, the world's first and oldest registered domain on the internet. Symbolics.com. Interrupttech.corp is one super old website. It came out in 1986. The site was registered in 1986. 1986, 1987. Well, lots of these sites are still going.
Yeah.
The Space Jam website's still up? Yo!
Come on and slam.
Yo! I want to go on the website. Where's the link? 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 I don't know where the link is. Website?
Yeah.
Oh, it's dead.
Aww.
It's a Wayback Machine. It's dead now. They took Space Jam out of its misery, put it down. They probably put it down right when like Space Jam 2 came out. Probably use the same domain to get Space Jam 2 website. Toasty Tech is the epitome of 90s website design. Ew. What is that? Go to Toasty Tech. Ew, this website's like, looks like garbage. Well, I mean, I guess it's from the 80s, so.
That's the internet for you.
Oh my god, was no one answering the phone? What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the next topic? What's the next topic, man? What's the next topic?
Ant Simulator.
I don't give a fuck about ant simulators. People got fucking scammed out of a fucking crowdfunding GoFundMe. They can go fuck themselves, literally. They should know by now that fucking Kickstarters are a fucking scam.
That's sad. That's a terrible take.
It's not a terrible take, dude. Literally all Kickstarters are garbage. If you get scammed by Kickstarter in 2022, you deserve to get fucking scammed. Literally a shit take. There's no shit take here, dude. Basically, here we go. We'll summarize it in 30 seconds for those that are interested in the Ant Simulator. If you invested into it, well, I'm sorry guys, but it's not coming.
It was canceled.
Ant Simulator got canceled. Fucking the guys that made it or didn't make it, I guess. Stole everyone's fucking money and spent it on drugs and strippers and alcohol.
Yeah.
Surprise,
The game that
surprise.
raised money through crowdfunding has been canceled because the company's leaders spent the money on liquor, restaurants, and strippers.
Dude, Kickstarter is literally just what crypto rug pulls were before crypto was a thing.
Yeah, true.
Literally, the amount of Kickstarters that were scams was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I watched a YouTube video, not a English, just a while ago. This guy's been following this like one dude. He got scammed out of a Kickstarter. Obviously, it was for this umbrella, where like it's not like a fabric umbrella. It's like this machine that like sprays, that shoots the like heavy amount of air so that it keeps the rain off of you, basically.
That doesn't even sound realistic.
It doesn't sound. No, it's not realistic at all. And his name was like Michael, I think, and he obviously got scammed out of it. And like 7 years later, he was still commenting on the Kickstarter, asking where his air umbrella was, like begging and for it, and like being super sad and stuff like that. Like it was obviously like just an innocent like boomer that got like fucked out of it. And then the YouTuber I watched like actually like managed to get like he's been following the comments for years and like making like joke videos out of it. Yeah. And he got a hold of like this science YouTuber that designed like an actual like umbrella that works, like that shoots air and like blows the air the rain out of the sky basically to keep you dry. And then they like tracked the guy down like using his like YouTube account and stuff like that, and contacted him, and they flew him into Florida, and they gave him the actual umbrella like 10 years after the fact. Of him like so cool. Crying for the umbrella. He was just some innocent little guy, and he was so happy to fucking have the umbrella finally.
Aww.
Like,
see, the internet is good for.
It's just funny how the guy like spent like years and years trying so hard to get the umbrella.
What's up?
Do you want to talk about Jared Leto being in the worst Marvel movie of all time now, after being in the worst DC movie of all time?
He's collecting terrible movies like Infinity Stones.
Is he a good actor? I've never seen him in any good movie, to be honest. Is he a good actor?
He's an okay actor. Like, he's not terrible, but like for Joker and I guess Morbius too, he like took to method acting, which is why all of a sudden he's like so controversial. Because like on the set of Suicide Squad, remember he mailed Margot Robbie a rat. He mailed one of his coworkers like used condoms or something, because he's like in character as the Joker, and the Joker's so crazy.
Dude.
Yeah, a lot of actors have spoken out and just being like, you're a complete fucking idiot. Like, how come nobody does method acting when they play something like fucking like Mrs. Doubtfire or like a super nice character, right? Like, why are you method acting to just be an asshole?
Apparently he was good in like House of Gucci and Dallas Buyers Club, but like I don't care about those movies.
Yeah, he was in Fight Club, but again, it was a minor role.
He was in American Psycho. Excuse me.
Was he?
How long has this guy been in the fucking movie industry?
A long time. A long time.
He's 50? Excuse me?
Right? He really does not look.
He looks 30.
Old. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I'm surprised he was in American Psycho.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. He's 50? I don't believe that. There's no way. There's no way this guy's 50. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that one guy that like fell off the face of the earth. Oh no, he's still never mind. He doesn't look like him at all.
Who are you thinking of?
Don't worry about it. It doesn't look like him at all.
I want to know.
No, that's fine.
I want to know to call you an idiot.
No. We're gonna move on from that. He does remind me of someone though, and I can't pinpoint it, especially the face.
Jesus?
Not Jesus. Shut the fuck up. It's like homeless? No, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
He was in Requiem for a Dream.
Well, he should. If he wants to do method acting, he should just go. Should go talk to Christian Bale and like Joaquin Phoenix about that. They can show him.
Nobody likes them either.
What do you mean?
Anybody who's done method like literally just recently because of Jared Leto and Morbius and what he did in Suicide Squad, like actors have been speaking out against method acting in general because they're like, this is stupid.
Joaquin Phoenix is a vegan, dude. He would never do such a thing.
Being what? Vegan doesn't make you exempt from being an asshole.
Yes,
I would
does.
argue the opposite.
Whoa, canceled now, man. You're canceled now.
No, there's no moral.
Vegans are never on their moral high ground, Matt. Come on. Come on now.
I just don't think there should be like a moral stance when it comes to
To be honest, method acting is really not a healthy thing to do either. So
No.
it's probably not something you should do because, dude, Christian Bale's body transformations are nutty. Like, that is dangerous on your body. That is nutty. Like, I would never be able to do that. Like, starve yourself to go to like 70 pounds and like gain like 500 pounds for another role. And then
he was in 2 movies back to back. In one, he was like super skinny, and then in the next one he had to be like, I think like 200 pounds of like pure muscle, and it's like, holy fuck, your body will just like go into shock.
Let me look it up. Do people hate method acting? 10 reasons I hate method acting, but not method actors. Number 1, it's not about you. 2, it's anti-practical. 3, unnecessary focus on emotions. 4, confusing the scenic truth for the actual truth. Psychosis. What? I fucking hate this website. Which actors hate method acting? Let's go on. Most stage actors and Broadway actors hate method acting. Well, that's obvious.
Oh yeah. Imagine being insufferable to castmates putting on a show like every fucking day.
Why is method acting considered bad? Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck about this. Yeah, method acting should never be used when the character is supposed to be portrayed as bad or evil, because that way it bleeds into your personal life.
Yeah, no shit.
I swear I didn't hear anything bad about Joaquin Phoenix on set of like Joker. Apparently he was really like, besides him wanting to get scenes perfect and like filming fucking 20,000 times, he wasn't like a pain in the ass to work with, from what I heard. I think Joker was like the only movie he did method acting in, no?
Well, I mean, like, maybe he was a good example of it then, right? Like,
yeah. Like he was a pain in the ass like for shots. I remember reading that somewhere, that he would record shots like fucking 20,000 times.
Yeah.
But they did that in fuck, what movie was it? Was it what you always talking about that? Was it the Batman? The Batman movie? There was one movie I watched recently, and Batman's like the only one I've watched recently, so it has to be that one. I remember reading an article somewhere of like one of the actors asking to film this one specific shot. Oh yeah, it is the Riddler. Paul Dano. The shot where he's like on the phone, where the guy has the bomb strapped to his neck in the church there.
Yeah.
He recorded that iPhone scene. He was by himself, so I guess it didn't really matter because he just recorded it on an iPhone, like realistically. Yeah. So the directors weren't there, but he recorded it over 150 times before getting one that he liked. He was trying different things and trying different styles and stuff like that, and he finally got one that he liked.
That's literally just like someone filming a TikTok and like doing it over and over and like trying to come off as sincere, but like it's been rehearsed over 150 times.
We gotta get it right, baby.
Stanley Kubrick was known for like fucking torturing the actors in his movies because he would have them like redo takes like 40-50 times until they got it.
Okay, apparently he doesn't. Yeah, apparently Joaquin Phoenix doesn't even do method acting, according to his Wikipedia page. The director of this one movie that he was worked with said he does not use method acting strategies, but said that working with Phoenix is like working with this beautiful wild animal where you have to give him the space to be free, so his performance can roam freely, raw, uncontrived, and truly natural. If he smells
kind of gay. That sounds really gay.
I'm not done yet. Hold on. If he smells the design of the scene, you lose his free spirit. If the script is weak, he will expose its flaws. He is fiercely intelligent and almost completely instinctual, and he has this immense sensitivity that can be both his curse and his gift. But for me, that is what it means to be human.
Who said this? I want them to write my eulogy.
Garth Davis. He directed the films Lion, Top of the Lake.
I want someone to talk about me.
And Mary Magdalene. So based.
I should know who that is. She's a church person.
She's a church person. I just acting style. I just want to look up Joker stuff. Joker. Control F. Fuck. Why is my Control F not working? Joker.
Are you looking for me, Sonny?
But I remember I guess I was mistaking his method acting for just him trying to find like studying like actual people that had like the whatever.
Are you thinking of Heath Ledger?
No. Joaquin Phoenix actually studied like hours and hours and hours of footage of people that have the actual like mental condition that laugh like incessantly to get like to nail the perfect like laugh.
Yeah.
Because he wanted it to be, you know, like a crazy evil laugh. He wanted to be like make it feel like it was like a actual mental illness, which is what the whole movie is about. So he studied actual like footage from people that actually suffer from that illness or condition or whatever. I guess not really an illness, but condition. Mm-hmm. Wish I forget the name of it, but anyways, that'd be fucking whack. Laughing at everything instead of crying or being in pain or whatever. That'd be fucking nutty.
That's just my everyday, dude.
Instead of crying, you just laugh. I'm sure you've cried at work, Matt.
I've also laughed at work.
I've done both simultaneously.
Wow. Batman. How iconic.
Speaking of Batman, the Discovery and Warner Bros. Merged, Matt.
Yeah. Complete overhaul is what they're talking about.
Yeah, so they may retcon everything that happened in the DC universe but now.
This is like... I've been saying they should do this. It's just like it's embarrassing at this point.
Dude,
just be like,
there's literally no point to reset. There's nothing that's happened. I don't get
exactly.
I don't get why there's a point to resetting it because like realistically, what like, you've had Suicide Squad. It's already had a soft reboot, and then you've already had. I guess you have 2 Wonder Woman movies, and then you have Justice League, which was like a standalone
the Suicide
thing.
Squad like is a sequel. Like all the characters from the first one were in the second. Well, not all of them, but like the cast of the first one was in the second one. I mean, they all died, but like,
that doesn't matter though.
It's a sequel.
That doesn't make it a sequel. It was like a soft reboot. I'm pretty sure that's what they labeled it as.
It's a sequel. I mean, it's both. Like, it's not like what do you consider a sequel and what do you consider a reboot?
A sequel is something that follows, that progresses after the story of the first one. That's what they did in the second.
Does.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
they don't even refer to the first one, do they?
Yeah, they do. Like, the first scene has the same Suicide Squad that was in, like, the first movie. Like, that opening scene where they all die. Like, that was the cast of the first movie.
What?
Like, Captain Boomerang... And like they like show up on the island, and then like everyone dies except Harley and what is it? Who's the other guy?
The rat fucking thing wasn't in the first.
No,
movie.
not the rat thing.
But he was there though. No, that was not that wasn't the same. Maybe the same characters, but it wasn't even the same actor. Wasn't even trying to portray it the same way. So that's maybe like. Timeline wise, they were brief. Like it was just a nod to the first one, but it was definitely. I felt more like it was a soft reboot.
It was.
That's why I wouldn't call it a soft. That's why I wouldn't call it a remake, but it's a soft reboot. I'd guess. That's what I would call it.
It still counts as a sequel because, like,
it's not a sequel.
It takes place after the first one. I don't know.
The director firmly described it as a total reboot. And that's why he called it The Suicide Squad and not Suicide Squad 2.
But it's still a sequel.
It's not a sequel, Matt. The director said so.
It is.
You're fucking his art up, Matt. You're fucking his art up. You can't say that. You're ruining his art up. You're ruining his...
Death of the creator. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Even James Gunn himself said that The Suicide Squad is neither sequel nor reboot entirely, and the movie itself seems to confirm what he meant.
Because it's definitely like a hybrid of the two, but like it's not a sequel and it's not a reboot.
I wouldn't say it's a remake. I would say it's like a soft reboot.
It's not a remake.
Like reboot is in between sequel and remake for me. Reboot is like my definition of it's like in the middle. It's not quite a remake. It's not. His remake would be a carbon copy, but it's not a carbon copy. Anyways, like back to the main point. Like, I just don't understand why there's need for like to reset it a third time, or like reset it a 25th time. Because I feel like every movie that comes out is billed as some fucking reset for this. When nothing.
Well, I just feel like it's because it's a revolving door of actors who want to come in and play these roles. Like, we never even got a fucking Batman movie with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, true.
Like,
but that's also because like, if it wasn't for his personal issues, he would probably definitely be in these Batman movies. To be honest, I think.
I don't know what his personal issues are. I just think it's like
he's an alcoholic.
Really, I think it's really irresponsible that if you sign up for a role like Batman or Superman, that you come back and you kind of play the legacy of the character at least for a fucking 3 movies. That's the least you could do, is like be done with your trilogy. That's literally like the kind of movie standard that we expect from comic book movies. Like if you're playing a titular character like Wonder Woman or Batman.
Yeah. I don't know, it's weird. Like I feel like they did this whole like DC universe thing out of order. Mm-hmm. Like they went to Justice League way too fast. Like way
too early, yeah.
They should have done what Marvel did and just like introduced each character individually with their own movie, which is what they were, which is what they are doing. But they just decided to release fucking Justice League before. And that's why I don't get why they have to reboot it again. Because like I said, there's like Wonder Woman, her 2 movies kind of stand alone. Yeah. Batman's in his own universe, doesn't really count. You have Suicide Squad, which is basically just 2 movies that are random that came out of nowhere, back to back. Soft reboot, soft remake, soft sequel, whatever you want to call it. And then
what I do like about the DCU that like the Marvel universe doesn't do is like the same Harley Quinn that was in the Suicide Squad, like the Suicide Squad movies, like that Ben Affleck Batman like does exist in that universe, right? So it's like they can kind of tease and like they can play around. Like not everything has to be explicitly set in stone that like this is all the same universe. Like I think it's fine that they like reuse the same like characters as like teasers into the other movies, because like there's flashback scenes in like the first Suicide Squad movie of like Joker and Harley getting chased by Batman, and it is Ben Affleck's Batman, and like they could have just kept on doing that and like have characters kind of come in as teasers. They don't need to be like, it doesn't need to be Batman versus Superman. Like it doesn't have to be like clash of these big titular characters. It can just be like, hey, like Batman has a cameo in this movie and he's there for like a couple minutes and that's it, and like that's fine. That would still satisfy the fans, and then that could in turn build up to something like Batman and the Suicide Squad, right, where like Waller is like, hey, Batman's gone off the fucking rails and I want him dead, so I'm sending in the Suicide Squad to stop him, and then Batman has to fight the Suicide Squad, which like totally isn't unheard of because that happened in Justice League. Like at one point in the like the cartoon, Amanda Waller was just like, hey, if Batman wanted to, he could shut us all down, and that's kind of terrifying. And standing in for the military power, Amanda Waller's like, let's put a stop to it. There you go. I just gave you the plot of like 2 or 3 fucking movies in like 2 minutes, and it's just like that. But I don't know who is at the helm of the fucking DC universe, but they're literally just like spitting on all their own content and throwing it in the fucking garbage. It's ridiculous. I'm getting heated over Batman again.
I just feel like they didn't have. I just feel like they didn't have a direction. To be honest, they just didn't have a direction.
Exactly. They don't need to reinvent the fucking wheel. They have the comics. They have the fucking like the cartoons. They have different universes from the cartoons. Like just fucking go with something that you know works. Why are you trying to fucking like that fucking scene, and like why are we coming up with this fucking Justice League movie that is just stupid, that like we don't know these characters, we're expecting to know them through.
I don't think that's the reason. Like they're clearly capable of making stories that stand on their own, that aren't inspired by any comic book or anything like that. Because like if you look at like mind blank, like most of James Gunn's stuff, well, minus things, fucking Suicide Squad, but like Peacemaker and like well, James Gunn didn't make Batman, but Batman. Wait, is James Gunn director of Batman? No.
Matt Reeves.
Yeah, sorry. Like the DC extended universe, the people they hire to work in it are clearly capable of making standalone stories that aren't inspired by anything or following like the comic books 100%. I think it's just a matter of them not having a direction from the very start and like making these random movies here and there that don't really tie into anything.
Well,
exactly. That's why I don't get why, and that's why I don't get why they have to do a reboot. Like, just leave everything as it is. Don't like just like you still have tons of time to salvage this. I say, like, there's nothing. Like, yes, the movies are shit, but there's nothing overarching that's broken yet. Like, everything was just pot shots and like random stuff on the board that you can interconnect later. Like, you have Suicide Squad, you have Shazam, you have Wonder Woman, you have I'm sure I'm missing other DC movies that came out since then, but none of them are related. Like, you still have time to like. Aquaman. Stuff like that aren't related at all. This year you have The Flash coming out. You have the next Aquaman, I think, coming out this year as well.
Oh, did you hear about The Flash? Ezra Miller is, I think, being tried on like assault charges, and DC was like, we're gonna hold all your content. We're gonna withhold your content.
It's going on 2023. Never mind.
If it comes out at all, just Google like Ezra Miller. DC, the guy who was supposed to play the Flash. And, like, the Flash movie was supposed to kind of be the next step into kind of bringing in all these like DC. What's the term I'm looking for? Like
Ezra Miller restraining order dropped. Is all the new articles I'm seeing.
Oh, but I mean DC is still like putting a hold on all of his content, and like that was supposed to be their next step.
He's the one that played in Justice League, right?
Yeah, he's the Flash.
Yeah. That's another fucking stupid thing. Why couldn't they just cast the goddamn actor from the TV show? That's another thing that I hate.
I know we like to shit on the CW, but I think they kind of did a perfect job casting Barry from the CW show.
Well, it ain't even CW. Flash and Arrow aren't CW.
Yeah, they were.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Wait, what? How?
They were all along.
What the fuck? How?
Arrow was the first like DC show, and then
it was the first. It was
like
the first superhero show.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The first of.
Yeah, but it was on like, it wasn't on CW. Meanwhile, all the other shows are on only CW or like our equivalent. Yes. You don't even have cable. Shut the fuck up. You don't even have cable.
The Arrow was always the fucking CW because I watched it when it came out.
Yeah, on normal channels, not on CW. Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, that's Marvel show. And Legends of Tomorrow, is that
It premiered in the United States on the CW October 10th, 2012, and ran for 8 seasons until January 8th, 2020.
Yeah, but then explain to me why Superman and Lois, Gotham Knights, and all the other fucking movies that are shows that are coming out only on CW Plus or the Canadian equivalent then. Touche. Checkmate, atheist. Podcast is over.
What does that have to do? It's still... What the fuck are you talking about?
Podcast is over.
You're arguing something completely different. You're not even arguing the same point. You're wrong. I was right. Fuck you.
Time for our viewer question. I'm excited for Michael Keaton in this movie, though.
What movie?
Flash.
Is he the villain?
No, he's playing Batman, you fucking idiot. Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman, and so is Ben Affleck.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Are you dumb?
Oh, no, I'm just uninformed.
So dumb.
Go fuck yourself.
But yeah, Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are going to be playing Batman in this movie.
That's cool.
There's going to be some like throwback scenes, I think, is what they're planning.
Flash, time traveling, it just happens.
Yeah. But anyways, it's time to move on to our viewer question. But yeah, make sure to ask questions, guys. If you want the questions, give us the questions.
Yes. And submit your questions. On any of our social medias, but also on Spotify, right?
Yeah, social media, Spotify, YouTube comments, on our website, mildlyignorantpodcast.com. Here's a little. No, wait, I don't want to do this question. There's so many questions. I have to like pick one. don't really know. You pick one, Matt. There's one that's
sure.
pointing out, that's sticking out to you.
Yeah, a specific color that gives you the ick.
No.
I mean, for me, it's orange, only because I associate it with someone like it was their favorite color and they liked it, and now I hate that person. So every time I see it, I just think of that person and how much I hate them.
I would say like dark orange is kind of a fucking gross color, to be honest. Like the almost brown orange. Yeah. That's disgusting. That gives me the ick.
Like rust.
Yeah, like rust color. Yeah, I'd say that'd be the color that gives me the ick.
No, but the ick is like, it's more than just like, oh, I don't like it. Like there's got to be like a reason behind it.
Really? What?
Yeah, it's the ick, man.
Oh, when it's like a connection to something or someone that should matter lots. Okay.
Yeah.
None of that.
I mean, I was
None
gonna
of that
say
to
you'd
me,
have to form an emotional connection to something before you can.
What's that?
You know. All right, so Isaiah doesn't like the color of rust, and I don't like orange because I associate it with someone that I no longer care to think about.
They're canceled now. Canceled out of Matt's life. Gone forever.
Gone, just like your dog.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Mildly Ignorant podcast.
It was so nice to have you back, Isaiah.
No, it wasn't.
Missed you. What was I going to do without you?
Record another podcast.
So scared.
You're a little scared baby. Couldn't record his podcast on his own with his little friend, buddy.
What was I going to do? Sit here and talk to myself for an hour? No one wants to hear what I have to say. Like unfiltered, unbridled for an hour.
No, you speak for a half hour, then I would have spoken for a half hour, then we could have like slapped it together, you know?
That sounds terrible.
You sound terrible. Shut the fuck up. We're landing this episode now.
Right, fuck you.
Thank you for listening to this episode 32. We'll be back next week for another episode. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure to listen to us on all major platforms, or just pick one of them, I guess. Don't listen to us on all of them. That'd be weird.
No, boost our viewers. Definitely do that.
True, definitely do that. But you can tell all your friends and family and neighbors and colleagues and employees and employers that that we're on all platforms, that they should listen to us.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's it.
Thanks.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.